Welcome to Megapath Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today, let's talk. Let's talk about Rosita being a hoe. Listen, some of you guys, I'm doing that jokingly. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? I'm not judging. It's just funny. Anyway, some of you guys were excited about the idea of them bringing the comic book story to life, where Rosita had this little love triangle thing going on. And I'll be honest, I didn't think they were going to do it. A couple reasons. One, in the comic it made sense because she got with Eugene, which they're not doing on the show, but she got with Eugene and their relationship was fitting for the storyline that played out with her, kind of getting with another guy and then realizing that she truly did love Eugene. And if we believe her, because we didn't have any other revelations, because her story ended before we can actually get any clarity on that. But if we take her words for value in the last, stuff she talked about in the comic, then yeah, she actually realized she loved Eugene the most after the affair. So it made sense in the comic book. But in the show, from what we've seen, and we've only seen a little, we've only seen that little bit with her and Gabriel. We don't know what kind of relationship they have. We don't know what's going on. I mean, there could be a number of different things. She could have started kind of seeing both of them at the same time, didn't know how to end it, or wasn't sure which one was going to last, or what, or, you know what I'm saying? It's just, we don't know what direction they're going to take. And I'll be honest. I didn't think they were going to do that and make the female the bad guy. I didn't think they were going to make her the cheater. I won't be surprised if they, give some sort of reason or purpose for her cheating. But there is a deleted scene that kind of hints heavily they are doing the comic book storyline. Instead of Eugene and Rosita and Siddiq, it would be Gabriel, Rosita, and Siddiq. I do want to mention, though, seeing Gabriel and Rosita together, it is always fun going back and watching old scenes of these characters who, before, you never would have imagined them getting together. It's just neat. I find it neat. Anyway, there was also an article that came out talking about different options for Rosita's character to get with other characters. They don't go into detail on what those other characters are, but the showrunner, Angela Kang, and this is coming from the actor playing Rosita, the showrunner called me and said it was a possibility and they were kind of figuring out who the love interests were going to be. She said there were a few options. This was one of the options. She just said there were a few different alternatives. Okay, The Walking Dead star Christian Serratos says there were a few options for Rosita's new love interest before that role was filled by Father Gabriel. Now, they haven't revealed anything, but this is that deleted scene I was talking about. I'll only play a little bit here. You can watch the full thing on YouTube if you want.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Hey, do you mind taking over for a little while? I've just been with her since she came in.
Oh, go for it. And thank you. You've taken amazing care of her.
I learned from the best.
Now, the quality's not all there, but what ends up happening is Henry comes in and he asks if she can show him around, and then it kind of just ends. I feel like it kind of ends a little abruptly, but
She's not in hypovolemic shock.
this part right here is the most telling sign.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
He's at her bedside, and he does this little thing with her hair, being a little more caring than hinting there could be some sort of connection there. Now, Enid does this little look, and at first when you watch it, this little look seems to be like, oh, there's something there. But then she makes that face like it's her being were wondering it to herself, oh, should I ask now if he could take over because I got something to do? See what I mean? So it could be a combination
Hey, do
of
you mind
both.
taking over for a little while?
So this, for those telling me over and over again, there could be the love triangle. I got to admit, this is good proof. I'll give it to you. This is solid evidence. It's not something I thought they were going to do, but I think this is definitely solid evidence. And I love some of the deleted scenes, man. There's some great ones. Where was the... Oh, man, there was a Negan one. I guess I X'd out of it. Yeah, I guess I X'd out of it. But some of the deleted scenes, I kind of really wish they didn't get rid of them. This one is really cool from Season 8. Maybe we're going to go back and discuss some of the deleted scenes, man, because some of them you can understand why they cut them, but some, I really wish it was still in it. I wish when they released the Blu-ray, they put some of the deleted scenes in them that fit, because this is perfect. This connects, I mean, expertly to Season 9. You have what was originally in the show with Jesus telling Morgan to use one end of the stick for the living and the other end of the stick for the dead, meaning kill the dead, keep the living alive, give them a chance. And then after that it goes to Rick and Maggie right here. And forgive me for the quality, there's no other version of this on YouTube that isn't ass.
We're almost there, so now I'm asking you.
He's asking her vision for tomorrow.
Stay connected, like we have through this. We find a way to secure the roads between Alexandria, the hilltop, the kingdom, and the sanctuary. The ones that are left, the ones we let live. We stabilize. Bigger and bigger fields of crops, bigger and bigger communities.
And you have a baby.
Yes, I do.
Michonne goes into it about her baby and what what's best for Maggie's baby will essentially be best for all the communities. And then Rick and Michonne also talk about reading the letter to Carl, which is another thing we've discussed on this channel. A lot of people, if we don't see it on the screen, we act like it doesn't happen, but I've said multiple times, there's so much time going by, and there's probably a lot of free time. These characters are filling each other in on, you know, their past, things they've done. So this is, in my opinion, clear proof that we don't need to see everything on screen. We don't need to see Michonne tell Daryl that she shot the Savior in the street. If they talk about it later on and Daryl wasn't there, we can just assume that they've had that conversation. Maybe one night they were all having drinks and they opened up a little bit and Michonne got this off her chest and yada yada yada. Here, she talks about reading the letter to Negan, to Rick. Now, Rick wasn't there, and later on, if we heard them talking about it, we'd be like, wait a minute, how does Rick know, yada yada yada. It was a scene that was cut out, but still, they do talk when, neither one of them are around. But Maggie is talking about what to do in the future as far as bringing the communities together. And I really love this deleted scene. Everything she talks about is what we're getting in Season 9, especially the Savior part. She talks about the Saviors that are left, the good Saviors, the Saviors that are just people living there and like the worker people, but also some of the Saviors that she's already taken some into the hilltop, so there's probably more that are just afraid of Negan. And once you take Negan out of the picture, they'll work with you, you know? So it's awesome hearing Maggie be the one to bring that up. And Rick even kind of looks surprised and taken back and a little shocked with it. And this plays in a little more with Rick making the decision to stick true to Carl's letter and keep Negan alive, because Michonne ends up telling Rick, like, we can't hear Carl, we can't hear his letter right now because Negan didn't hear it, and now they got to go to war because Negan didn't hear what Carl has to say. And Michonne's like, we can't hear what Carl has to say because we need to finish this. And then that's when it connects to what we saw on the show where they said, Jesus, look at this herd.
Jesus.
Holy damn. You ever seen one that big?
And you have this storyline that, or this deleted scene that talks about a storyline or what they would do for for tomorrow in the future that connects directly with the story in season 9, and then also that little Easter egg of a herd. That's not probably the Whisperers, but it's a massive herd that we haven't seen yet in season 9, but now that we're getting into the Whisperer storyline, comic book fans know there's a massive herd involved in that storyline, and I just love how there's so much jam-packed in that little deleted scene that is ringing so true in season 9, and in such a good way. I think it's a small scene that I really wish they would have included in the episode. And I really wish there's a way where they do the Blu-rays, they could give the option, or these deluxe sets, they can give these options where you can watch the episode with the deleted scenes in them or out of them. I think it's such an old way of thinking to include deleted scenes and not incorporate them in the episode fully as an option. I think that's so silly. I think they need to give us more incentive to be buying the Blu-rays and stuff. I know digital is king right now, but physical is also a selling point, and they're not giving us enough incentive to purchase some of these. So why not go that little bit extra and put the extras in there? That's why I buy Blu-rays, especially for shows I love. Now, if I love the movie and yada yada yada, I'll get it. But if I know something has awesome extras and stuff like that, I'm there, man. I get it. Not only for the collection, but to have it for certain situations where I'm not interested in watching it digitally. Like, we're having a little issue with the internet now. We're only getting for some reason, we're capped at like 1.7 megabytes per second. It's making it hell to do anything on the internet. You can't even watch Netflix. I can't rewatch an episode of The Walking Dead on Amazon. It's a good thing I got some Blu-rays, because you can't, everything is pixelated. And, the Spectrum's dragging their feet to fix it. So for right now, if I want to watch something, it's definitely not going to be digital. So for situations like that, it's great having it on Blu-ray. I have all the Walking Dead seasons on Blu-ray. If I need to rewatch something, I pop it in. But I think that incentive, a little side note rant, incentive would help to sell some Blu-ray copies and shit like that. Anyway, finally, circling back to Rosita being a hoe. How do you guys feel about this storyline being incorporated? What do you want? Do you want to see it Rosita straight not being able to make up her mind, in love with two guys? Do you want to see something where it would make sense? It wouldn't be so selfish and such a shitty thing for her to do, to lead two guys on. What do you want to see? How do you think it's going to affect this storyline? And in my opinion, this right here, for me, this is the nail in the coffin. I do believe, and the video's coming out in a few weeks in 2019 before The Walking Dead returns. But in a few weeks, I'm coming out with my death predictions for the Border, for the Whisperers. And I do believe right now, especially based off of this, Rosita's going to be on that list for sure. So there's a little hint at Rosita. I think Tammy's another one I picked, who I'm pretty confident will be on the Pike list. And leave your thoughts and opinions down below about the love triangle. And do you think this is the beginning of the end for Rosita Espinosa? Is that her name? I'm pretty sure that's her name. Anyway, thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. One last thing, obviously finishing out December of 2018. We're going to have a lot of raw content coming up. I don't know why I said that ass backwards, but I was going to make a joke out of it, but it didn't work. Bear with me. In 2019, I'm really excited, but we're going to get back to some of the more polished videos. So excited for that, but still, keep up with a more daily upload schedule with some of the raw stuff. So just working out what channels they're going to be on. Thank you very much for still sticking with the channel, especially since we kind of downgraded a little bit, went a little more raw. But 2019, we're going back to more of the polished stuff, so I'm excited for that. I was just bringing that up because I was doing a little work on some of the polished stuff today, and I'm getting really excited, especially a new thing I added to one of the deeper intos. It's something between Daryl and Rick, just a little couple lines that I love it. I love doing those, putting that stuff together. But anyway, thoughts and opinions in the comment box. I'm out of here, bro.